Youth employment, yes!
The European Union has allocated €6 billion to deal with the issue of youth unemployment, and particularly to target this through the Youth Guarantee. I believe that it's hugely important that we actually design a youth guarantee that will be just that and that will be fit for purpose. So I'm holding a series of conferences across Dublin to consult with the various different stakeholders, to consult with young people themselves, organisations, community and voluntary organisations that work with young people, the trade union movement, employers, and the community organisations as well, to see what can be done to design a youth guarantee programme that will actually meet the needs of young people, so that we can ensure that the youth guarantee, when it is rolled out locally, deliver services for young people locally without necessitating them to move long distances, and that they are able to then find jobs in the area where they have grown up in and in their own local environment. So that's why I believe that it is really important that we actually consult with the communities worst affected by youth unemployment, and that we can then move towards putting in place real and tangible solutions that are offered to these young people, and that they have had an input into that whole process.
I've had a look at the CSO figures that were released last week in terms of this constituency, both in Swords and Balbriggan. And regarding youth unemployment, the CSO figures show youth unemployment at 15% of the total unemployment figure in Swords, which is 676 people under 25 years of age. And in Balbriggan the figure is 14% of total unemployment figure, which is 681 people under 25 years of age is in youth unemployment.
But please be under no illusion, regardless of the funding that is in place, we have a dramatic body of work to do to mobilise our public service, to deliver services in such a fashion that it can enable the success that is required to sustain our economy into the future.
You really are an incredible pool of potential, of resources, of talents for our economies or our societies. However, in order to really unleash this potential, young people need to be engaged in our societies and our economies.
I have a small task to do here this morning as well, way here. If I may make a small presentation to Emer and to Brendan, because I'm 50 years member of SIFT. It's the 100 years anniversary of the lockout strike, or the lockout, what's the strike? So I'd like to give Emer the red hand badge.
Oh, thank you, Paddy.
And the Brendan as well.
Right.
Because after all,
there's a gap in the service. After young people leave school, where do they go to find out the information?
And also youth mental health issues. If you've low self-esteem, if you can't read and write, you've low self-esteem, and that's going to lead on to mental health issues.
In schools at the moment, literacy is being cut back at the primary level, so how can you plan for the future?
I think it's an excellent initiative and welcome it. And I do think something that maybe for some, I'd imagine myself coming through the system and dealing with apprentices, there are a lot of issues that we get with them.
If we do manage to secure the funding that we're aiming for, are we confident that MEP will be put in place to ensure that the money does go to the frontline people who will be able to deliver jobs, deliver the training, deliver the apprenticeships?
We all know that reducing unemployment, promoting quality jobs for young people is not an easy task. It's a serious challenge that requires multiple actions all at the same time. 3 years ago, the European Union adopted what's called the 2020 strategy. This agreed 5 headline targets for Europe to be achieved by the end of the decade. One of these was to achieve an average EU employment rate of 75%. In practical terms, this would mean creating more than 20 million jobs if we were to have 75% of the European workforce at work. So it's clearly an ambitious target, but it's a target that I believe is worth striving for. So what did you think of the meeting?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And if there was one thing that you could take out of that meeting today, one point that really struck you, what would it be?
The apprenticeship.
The apprenticeships.
And to make them more aware in skills and stuff, secondary skills and stuff.
Right, okay, yeah. You'll all be looking for work placements soon, will you?
Yeah.
And what kind of work placements will you be doing?
Don't really know yet.
Primary school?
Yeah.
Retail?
Airport.
Airport?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, well no, the airport. But that's the whole idea too behind the youth guarantee is it's looking at what jobs are needed to be filled locally, and then how can we do those and how can we give young people an opportunity. And say in Austria they might spend 2 days a week in school and then they'd spend 2 or 3 days a week working in a company, and that, so it's work-based learning. Yeah. Does that appeal to you?
Yeah.